What would you do if the person you trusted most turned out to be the architect of your ruin? I thought I knew my wife, Emily, her warm smile, her soft laugh, the way she'd hum while cooking dinner. For 10 years, I believed we were building a life together, brick by brick, on a foundation of love. But one rainy afternoon, while sorting through a box of forgotten junk in our attic, I found her old phone. It was a cracked, outdated model buried under dusty photo albums. Out of curiosity, I powered it on. What I found shattered everything I thought I knew. My name is Daniel Harper, and I'm an architect, not the metaphorical kind, but the kind who designs buildings. I met Emily in college, where her quiet charm and sharp wit drew me in. She was studying literature, always carrying a dog-eared novel, her eyes bright with stories. We dated for 3 years, married young, and settled into a modest house in Portland. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours, or so I thought. The phone screen flickered to life, revealing a lock screen. I didn't recognize a photo of Emily with a man I'd never seen. He was tall, with slick-back hair and a smug grin. My stomach churned, but I dismissed it as an old boyfriend. The passcode was our anniversary, ironic, in hindsight. What I found inside wasn't just a betrayal. It was a blueprint for destruction. The first message I read was from Emily to someone named L. It was dated a month before we met. "He's perfect," she wrote. "Ambitious, trusting, easy to mold. The plan's in motion." My heart raced. I scrolled through years of texts, emails, and notes, piecing together a story I couldn't believe. Emily hadn't just fallen in love with me. She'd targeted me. It started in college. Emily wasn't a literature student. She was a psychology major, specializing in behavioral manipulation. The novels, the shy smiles, the accidental meetings at the campus coffee shop, they were all calculated. She'd studied me like a subject, noting my habits, my dreams, my weaknesses. But why? The answer lay in a name that kept appearing: Lucas. Lucas was the man in the photo, her real partner. They'd been running a long con, and I was their mark. Emily's text revealed a chilling truth. Lucas was a con artist who preyed on rising professionals. He'd pick a target, and Emily would infiltrate their life, posing as the perfect partner. Together, they'd sabotage the target's career, drain their finances, and disappear. I was their latest project. The evidence was overwhelming. Emails showed Emily had hacked my college applications, ensuring I missed out on a prestigious internship that could have launched my career. Texts revealed she'd spread rumors about me at my first firm, costing me a promotion. Bank records I found later confirmed she'd siphoned money from our joint account into an offshore one. The worst part? Our marriage was her idea legal bind to make her sabotage easier. Every "I love you" was a lie. I sat in the attic, rain pounding the roof, feeling like the walls of my life were collapsing. How could I have been so blind? The woman I'd shared my dreams with, who'd held my hand through every setback, had engineered those setbacks. But then came the twisted name in the text I hadn't expected: Sarah. Sarah was Emily's younger sister, someone I'd met only a few times. She was shy, awkward, always on the fringes of our life. The text showed Sarah begging Emily to stop the con. "He's a good man," Sarah wrote. "You don't have to do this." Emily's replies were cold. "Stay out of it, or you're next." Sarah's messages stopped abruptly a year ago, around the time she'd moved across the country. I remembered Emily saying Sarah was troubled, but now I wondered if she'd been silenced. I couldn't confront Emily yet. I needed more. Digging deeper, I found a hidden folder on the phone labeled insurance. It contained voice recordings Emily and Lucas plotting. One recording chilled me to the bone. Lucas's voice, low and smug. "Once he's broken, we move to the next one. You're too good at this, Em." Emily laughed, a sound I'd once loved. "He'll never see it coming," she said. But Sarah's messages gnawed at me. I tracked her down, finding her in a small apartment in Seattle. She looked haunted, her eyes darting nervously when I mentioned Emily. "I tried to warn you," she whispered, tears streaming. Sarah revealed she'd been part of the con initially, scouting targets for Lucas. But when she met me, she saw something worth saving. She tried to sabotage Emily's plan, subtly leaving anonymous notes at my office, hoping I'd suspect something. They never reached me. Emily had intercepted them. Sarah's confession changed everything. She wasn't just a bystander. She was a victim, too, trapped by her sister's control. She showed me a scar on her wrist, a reminder of what happened when she defied Lucas. "They'll destroy you if you stay," she said. "But you can fight back." Armed with the phone's evidence and Sarah's testimony, I devised a plan. I didn't confront Emily directly, that would have tipped her off. Instead, I played her game. I acted oblivious, even affectionate, while secretly gathering more proof. I hired a private investigator to track Lucas, who was living under an alias in Miami. I contacted a lawyer, building a case to expose them both. The final twist came when I found a draft email Emily hadn't sent, dated a week ago. It was to Lucas. "I'm tired of this." Daniel's starting to suspect. Maybe we should cut losses. For the first time, I saw cracks in her facade. She wasn't invincible, she was scared. That gave me the edge I needed. On our 10th anniversary, I staged my move. Emily planned a romantic dinner, her face a mask of love. I played along, smiling as she poured wine. Mid-meal, I slid her old phone across the table. "Found something interesting," I said, watching her face pale. She stammered, but I didn't let her speak. I played the recording of her and Lucas, her laughter echoing in our quiet dining room. "You thought you could ruin me," I said, my voice steady despite the rage. "But I'm not your puppet anymore." I handed her divorce papers and a USB drive with copies of every damning text, email, and recording. "The police have this, too. Lucas is already in custody." Emily's mask shattered. She didn't beg or cry, she just stared, defeated. Sarah had helped me coordinate with the authorities, ensuring Lucas was arrested that morning. Emily was alone, her empire of lies crumbling. Walking away from that house felt like shedding chains. I moved to Seattle, closer to Sarah, who was rebuilding her life, too. We weren't romantically involved, but we shared a bond, two survivors of the same storm. My career, once stunted by Emily's sabotage, began to recover. I took on new projects, my passion reignited. The scars remain. Trust is hard now, and love feels like a risk I'm not ready for. But I learned something vital. The truth, no matter how painful, sets you free. Emily's betrayal taught me to question, to dig deeper, to never let someone else write my story. And in the end, I wasn't just a victim, I was the one who rewrote the ending.